So, today I want to talk about following your passions. Do you even know what your passion is? It's so important to have something that you're passionate about in life because it really drives you, really excites you, helps you live this wonderful, happy life. Um, and if we think about it, at the moment we're talking about the Lionesses and the amazing success that they've had, and they followed their passion. They were a group of women, each of them individuals who had a passion for playing football, and they did it because they loved it. They didn't do it because there was any money in it, because for women's football, there's no money in it. It's not been an easy journey for them. It's not something that they've just kept doing because it's easy. And many of them have had to infiltrate when they were young, infiltrate boys' football. They've had to deal with the prejudice against women in football, but they haven't given up because they were passionate about it. They were following their passions. And isn't it incredible when you see people who are really passionate about something, and don't sometimes you wish that you had the passion that they had to sort of give up everything else and just focus on that? That isn't real life for most of us. We have other things to deal with, and maybe we're not quite as determined and not quite as passionate as they are. But there must be something in your life that you're passionate about. And particularly around perhaps your career and the people that you help and what you do. So it's really important to try and find something that you're passionate about, because it makes such a difference to how you act and how you feel. So what is your passion? Have a think about it. What is the passion that you've got, and how could you follow it? How could you find a way to make it actually work? And I think, it's then not about giving up on things, because I think we give up on things way too easily. Things become a little bit difficult, a little bit awkward. It's too hard to do. I know for myself at the moment, I'm running my own business. I've not been running it very long. And there are days where I think, oh, it's just too hard. Let's just go and get another job. And, I talk to some of my clients who are like, I really want to get that next job. I really want to move sectors. I really want to change what I'm doing, or I just want to step up. And it's just often too hard. So we have to really find the passion, because when you find the passion for it, that's what helps you not give up and get there. So my passion's always been about helping things be better. And when I first started work, I was doing data input and processing and things, and every time I did something, I was like, there must be a better way of doing this. I'd be curious about it, and I'd ask questions, and I'd always find a way to do something differently that made it better. I got into customer service. That's my main background. And in customer service, I always wanted to make things better for the customers. I always wanted to make the service better. I always looked at how things could be different for them. And then when you make it better, you're really proud of it. And, it's a real success. And then I moved on to wanting to help my colleagues, have better processes, so there's not so much bureaucracy, not so much paperwork, make the processes simpler, which ultimately ends up making the customer service better, but it also improves the life and the quality and the job satisfaction that your colleagues get as well. And in some jobs I've had, it's just not been like that. It's not worked out. Maybe that the values of the organisation have been different to mine. Maybe I've not been allowed to make the changes I wanted to make. And in that case, I recognised that and I moved on. I went to find a job where I could fulfil my passion. And, I've never stayed in a job long if it didn't fulfil that need. And I've had some jobs where I've stayed in for a long time. Might have had different jobs in that organisation, but I've stayed in organisations a long time because I was allowed to follow my passion. I was allowed to make that difference. It's about challenging the status quo. It's about taking risks, just low risks in your life or your career. It's about thinking outside the box sometimes about how things can be different and how you can approach things differently in order to fulfill your passion. And now I'm really passionate about helping women live better lives through getting better jobs. And I'm really passionate about that. That's why I'm still in business, no matter how hard it's been, because I want to help you. I want to help you get a better job. I want to help you grow in confidence. I want to help you feel happy and fulfilled about what it is that you do. I want you to push yourself so that you feel proud of yourself. And that is what I'm passionate about. And we all have so many skills. We're all capable of so much, but we just hold ourselves back. We don't push ourselves forward. We give up on things too easily. So are you following your passions? And if not, why not? What could you do to change that? Because it is possible. I had a couple of ladies who went through my group coaching course this year, and through the process, they realised that the job that they were in is not the job that they wanted to be in. And 2 people actually made a complete career change. One lady went from working in HR to starting to train to be a solicitor, because that's what she'd always wanted to do. And another lady was working in the maintenance team, but realised that she actually wanted to be much more people focused. So she moved into recruitment, and actually started studying recruitment law, so that she could help support people through their HR journey and through their organisation development. And it's fascinating when you see people do that. It's never too late. It's never too late to change direction. And also think about how you can support other people, particularly your family. If you've got children, how can you help them follow their passions? I was talking to an ex-colleague at the weekend, and he was telling me that his daughter was training to be a journalist, and she really wanted to get a job at like Forbes or one of the top magazines, but she was really struggling. She was struggling to get interviews. If she got the interviews, she didn't get the jobs. She was now at that point where she was feeling rejected. She was feeling disillusioned, and the likelihood was that she was going to go and find some ordinary job, not a bad job, but an ordinary job, because she needed a job and she needed the money. And when we were having this conversation, I really encouraged my friend to support his daughter to live her dream, because otherwise she's going to find herself in a job that's going to be so difficult to move on from, to move out of and live her passion. So what he could do, so if you've got children, if you can support them financially, if you can support them by helping grow them in confidence, if you can introduce them to people that might be able to help, if you can just believe in them and not belittle their dreams, then it'll go a long way for your children to have the passion and to live their dreams. Because imagine people like Sarah Davis from Dragon's Den. Imagine that she just ever did crafting as a hobby. She would never have this amazing business and inspire so many other women to lead amazing lives and run their own careers. What about Jessica Ennis? What about if she'd only ever done sport as a hobby and never taken it up and was just in some ordinary job somewhere? These are amazing people that have lived their passions, and there's no reason why you or your children shouldn't do that as well. So do what you can to support them. Because following your passions, it makes for a much happier life. It makes for a fulfilling life. And sometimes there's short-term challenges, sometimes there's frustrations, but if you just stick with it, if you're really passionate about it and you stick with it, ultimately you'll make something of it. And you don't have to be the person that changes the world. It could be that you're really passionate about building fantastic spreadsheets that improve the way somebody does something in their job. Fantastic. Make sure that you've got a job that does that. It might be that you're passionate about providing that service to customers, and always making sure you're doing the best for them so that every day you're proud of the service that you've provided. Great. It might be that you're passionate about caring for people, and you want to be a carer, or you want to run a care home, or whatever it is. We don't have to be changing the world with what we're passionate about, but we just have to find our own passion, our own reason for being, our own purpose, and it will really help you develop yourself as a person. You'll continue to grow, and you'll end up being so proud of yourself. So imagine that the Lionesses had all accepted that football wasn't a women's game. We wouldn't be sitting here today celebrating the achievement that wonderful group of women made. So please have a think about what your passion is. Imagine what your life would be like if you followed your passion. Imagine yourself in 20 years' time looking back and being so thankful that you followed your passion and didn't just waste it away. There's so many things that we can do in life. Make sure you're doing things that you're passionate about. And if I can help you with getting any clarity or anything around what you do, then please just give me a shout, because I know what it feels like to be passionate and actually fulfill that. And I really want to help other women feel satisfied and proud of what they've achieved in their lives.